Hello and welcome back to the channel. So today is part 3 of our 3-part servicing videos here with the GR Yaris. So today we're going to fit this. It's a genuine Toyota part. It's just an oil filter, but it's kind of crucial to the servicing of the car. So we're going to change the oil and fit a new filter. So there are a few more bits that you will need, but we'll show you those as we get to them. But why is this so important? So your car needs servicing. The oil needs changing. It's good to keep it clean and keep that filter clean. Plus, if you, like me, drive your car fairly hard, you might want to change it more often. So as you would have seen on the channel, this car does see some light track action, but I do push it hard and I have some very good mechanical empathy and sympathy for the car. But I want to push it hard, so need to look after it. So it might mean that you're servicing it a bit more often. This shouldn't be too hard. So let's find out what we're going to be using here today. This should be everything that you need. So we've got some oil from Ravenol. So this is the most important thing. It's fully synthetic 0W20 and it's specifically the right oil for this car. Now if you're interested, there is a link down below and you can get some discount off this when ordering from Ravenol direct, and you also get your points on that. So that's why we've chosen this. This is for me the best product for the engine. Been kind enough to support the channel, so massive thank you for that. The other part that we've got is an oil filter. There are others available. There's the oil filter part. This was from our channel partner Tegiwa, and gone genuine. There are other manufacturers out there, but they're all about the same. Now our sump plug in this GR Yaris is an OEM plus titanium sump plug, so it actually is reusable, and it comes with these little crush washers here, little copper crush washers, so I've got a few of those extra. The other thing we'll need is a torque wrench to torque everything back up to spec. Next up down here, I've got this oil filter removal kit. This was just one that I found online on Amazon. I will put the link down below, but this just makes getting the oil filter on and off a lot easier. And then also an oil drain pan. So this is where we're going to drain the excess oil into, and then we can dispose of it safely. To get this sorted, so first thing I want to do is just get the car up a little bit higher. You can do it on jacks. What I'm actually going to do is do it on the little ramps that you may have seen me use on the channel here. So I'm going to just pull the car forward up onto those ramps, get a little bit of height so we can get underneath the car. On the stands here, that should be enough. It's going to be a tight squeeze, but it should be enough to get underneath there. 33,755 miles, so we've done over 33,000 miles in the car. So open your bonnet, open the oil cap, make sure we can put oil in there, and loosen the dipstick. Right, next bits we need to do is underneath the car. You can actually see Toyota giving us this lovely little access panel. So I believe it's 4 nuts. I believe they're T10s, but I'll double check in a second. And then that should come our way, and then we should get access to the oil filter. Yep, it is a T10. It may be fairly tricky to see, but here we have the oil filter inside the front of the car. So the bottom of your screen is the front of the car, and then at the back you can see the sump, and we can see our titanium sump plug just there. Yeah, everything's fairly accessible. It looks like we've got plenty of space to get a wrench on that as well. Let's try and drain this oil. I'm a bit concerned there's not much space. So I felt like the blocks weren't giving me enough height, so I've actually jacked it up, and although it looks like there's less space under the earth because the suspension's in full droop, so that should give us a bit more space to get underneath the car. It is absolutely swelteringly hot today. And okay, there is the sump plug. So what we're going to try and do is get the drain can underneath here and see if we can crack that off. I don't know what size it is, I'll find out. It is not a 13, 14 it feels like. All smells fine, and on the end of the sump plug it looks all clean on there. Cat! So we're going to leave that to drain. While we leave it to drain, we'll clean the sump plug. See the sump plug here, Ravenol also do some brake parts cleaner, so it's a great opportunity Give this a little bit of a clean. We'll get rid of the washer as well. Nice and clean, and this washer could be thrown away and we'll fit a new one. While we wait for that to drain, we can figure out which one of these we need to use. Toyota's on there a couple of times, so I find the best way is to get the new filter and fit one of these onto it. So new filter, let's put that on there. So 901 out of that kit will fit on there perfectly. Whew. So we're going to get some brake parts clean on there, just clean around it with cloth as well. Take our lovely titanium sump plug, nice and clean now. New copper washer on there. Oh, now it's magnetic. There we go. And we're going to go refit that back in and torque that up to spec, which is 40 Newton meters. So it's going to be a little bit tricky to do this because we're kind of doing it blind. Wow. But we can kind of see where it should go. Go. Right, I'm just going to move the oil pan out of the way and then we'll torque that up. Hopefully you can just about see the oil filter there, so let's see if we can get that out next. Oh man, that's really hard to get to. To drain then. Right, well that was made more difficult than it needed to be because of this the ratcheting part stopped working, annoying. But we got there. So I had a couple of issues getting the old filter out of there. What I ended up doing was putting the hat on there and then putting a hammer for a little tool through there, and it just pushes it out. But I'm going to have double check that because I don't want that to get stuck on the new filter, which would be a bad time. You can see where the oil filter would be going, so we'll give that a bit of a quick clean up and then we'll prep the new oil filter to go back on. So this is Ravenol oil that we'll be using, so 0W20 fully synthetic. You get 5 litres, it should only need about 4. So what we just need to do is prime the fuel filter first, oil filter. So we'll take this plastic off and just prime this ring here with a little bit of oil and then we'll get it on. This is a little bit greasy already, so but instructions are to prime it from Toyota. Just going to pour a little bit in the lid like that. There we go. Little extra sauce. So let's get underneath and get this hand tight on. Hopefully you can see that. I'm doing this blind, so bear with us. Now, this should be 20 Newton meters. My problem is that tool didn't come off the previous filter very well, so my trust in it is broken. So what I'm going to do is do it hand tight, like a tight hand tight. So I feel like that's 20 Newton meters in human. Now we need to put some oil in it. So I put a little funnel in just because it makes it easier. I'm going to use the dregs of what we had before. This should be maybe a litre. Golden nectar. One thing I have done is put a little bit of cardboard underneath the car just in case there is any leaks and we'll be able to see. It's not even touching the bottom of the dipstick yet. Used about 2 litres now. Just coming up to the minimum mark. I'm going to have a look at the drips on the bottom. If it's all good, then we'll move it off. Right, so I checked it, no leaks at the bottom. So what we're going to do now is put the oil cap on and put this little shield on the bottom, and then we'll roll it back and give it a first start. Flat ground, let's just check this oil level. It's quite hard to see because it's being so clean oil. I'm struggling to see where the oil goes up to. I think that's only on the very tip. Let's put some more in. It's definitely not overfilled. It's the hottest day of the year right now. I think that's up to minimum. Oh man, do I put a bit more in? It's hard to see, but it looks like it's about up to minimum. Let's put a bit more in. It doesn't seem to be going up anymore, so what I'm just going to do, I'm sure there's enough oil in it, so I'm just going to start the car up and see how that goes. That sounded okay. Let's just check the oil level now. We're right at the maximum. If you can see, it's quite hard to see, but we're right at the maximum, maybe a touch over. So, might see if we can suck a little bit out. Okay, so we've managed to overfill the oil, but only by probably about at most half a litre. So what I'm going to try and do is see if I can suck out some of the oil with a fluid pump. I don't think the tube is long enough.
Five minutes later. One eternity later.
This was hard work. It was the hottest day of the year. It was 30 plus degrees, and it was just a lot of repetitive sucking and pulling on that lever.
So much later that the old narrator got tired of waiting and they had to hire a new one.
Now this did actually take basically 3 hours. Sometimes you'd get that little hose in the right place and you'd get good oil flow through. Sometimes you just get vapor. You can see I tried to tape it up to try and keep the vacuum as positive as possible, but it was hard work, but it was doable in the end. I only ran the car for about 5 or 10 seconds when there was too much oil in there, and I took out probably about half a litre max. To removing probably those little bottles, 4 of them maybe. Hopefully you can see there, right in between the two low and the full, so right where we want it to be. Perfect. So what I'm going to do now is get it up to temperature and just check for leaks. So there we go, that's how to do an oil change and not to do an oil change on your GR Yaris. So what went wrong? Basically I tried, well I did, I filled the car while it's still up with the front in the air and the back on the ground. Of course the dipstick is at the front of the engine, so I was pouring oil in and going, it's not really registering much, and plus it was beautifully golden, so it was a bit harder to see on the dipstick, and I put too much oil in. So in the end used a pump to suck it back out the dipstick, and now we're just below the maximum. We've run it up to temperature and no leaks, no leaks. So it looks like I just got a bit too keen with the Ravenol, so it's a good job here we get discount on it. So if you want discount on it, go and click that link down below. I don't get any money, it's all discount for you guys and girls. That's how it's set up. Get your oil for cheaper. As you've seen, I don't hide the bits where I go wrong here on the channel, and I have to say it looks colder and cooler now because it is, but I did do this on the hottest day of the year. I think now knowing what I know now, I'd probably do it in the spring or the autumn where it's a little bit cooler. Middle of the summer, it was hard work. How hard was it? I think it was a little bit harder than I was maybe expecting, but I think once you've done it, you kind of learned it. What would make this so much easier is a scissor lift. You can get the little lifts that you can just slide under, activate and lift up both sides of the car nice and level. That would be amazing. They are expensive, so unless somebody's got a great deal on some scissor lifts, let me know, because it'd be handy, but I don't have one. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you enjoyed my perseverance with this and sucking that oil through a dipstick tube, to the point that if you want to suck it out, you need it probably about 3 or 4 inches longer than the dipstick, and it's good. The tube, that is, that you put down the dipstick. If you enjoyed that, a like is very much appreciated. If you want to see more, subscribe is even better. This is the 3rd part of the 3-part series, so we've already done spark plugs and cabin filter, and this was the hardest one so far, but definitely doable on your drive at home. And if you give it a shot, let me know in the comments down below. But until then, goodbye and have a good one.